Good morning, boys and girls. This is the 22nd of November, and it's a special day in the life of the church. We call this Christ the King Sunday. It's the very last Sunday of the church year, and if you were here on Sunday morning, you would see that we have white and all kinds of special things out, and then you come 1 week later, and the whole sanctuary has changed to blues and Advent and getting ready for Christmas. So this is a really important transitional day. They call it a day of change. We have a story today in the gospel about sheep and goats, and I'm wondering if you've ever seen sheep and goats. Now, I don't live on a farm, and I don't eat a lot of lamb or goat meat, but this is a sheep and a goat, and you can see that the story says that when Jesus comes, he's going to separate the nations like a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats, and I think it's not that hard to do. I mean, even I know that's a sheep and that's a goat, right? Well, see, here's the problem. During Jesus' time, this is what sheep and goats looks like. This is a flock where they're all mixed together. Now, maybe you're better than I am, and you can tell which one of these are goats, and I guess that one looks kind of like a goat, and maybe that looks like a sheep, right? But what about this one and this one? Would you know that those are two different critters? They're really hard to tell apart. Let me show you another picture here that really demonstrates how hard it is. That's a picture of an actual flock of sheep and goats in the Middle East. They look different over there than they do over here on the farms. They're really hard to tell apart. So how do you separate a sheep from a goat? Well, apparently you separate them based upon what they do. Sheep and goats, they act differently. They do different things. And that's what Jesus is saying, that he's going to separate the nations. Those nations that do the things that Jesus wants us to do, like taking care of each other and feeding the hungry and loving one another when times are hard and saying good words in difficult situations. Those folks he's going to put on one side, and those that just don't seem to care and don't do very well and say mean words to people because it feels good to do that or whatever, he's going to put those on the other, and then each of them are going to be going to their rewards. One side will be good and one side not so good. Well, that's kind of the story. The problem is that it doesn't really make me feel very good because I don't know whether I'm a sheep or a goat. In fact, the story says that the sheep and the goats don't always know whether they're sheep or goats. As they're being told what they were supposed to have done, they look at Jesus and go, "We didn't know that. The good people didn't know they were supposed to do something nice. They were just acting like sheep. The goats, they didn't know they were doing something bad. They were just acting like goats because, after all, sheep act like sheep. Goats act like goats. And who in the world could create a place where sheep and goats would not just look alike, but would actually be alike?" And that's why this story is called Christ the King Sunday, because the king has the power to make things happen that sheep and goats don't. The whole point of the kingdom of God is to create a place where the sheep and the goats can be together, where the shepherd takes care of them both and loves them both, and where they can actually learn to love each other. And so this is the picture that I like to think of on this day. Not the sheep and the goats being separated, but being brought together into a place where they can lie down and be friends and love each other and show each other the kinds of things that Christ would want them to do and to be the kind of people that Christ could want them to be. That's what we have to look forward to. And that's why this very last Sunday points ahead to a very special day we're getting ready to celebrate, the day of Christmas, when Jesus is born and the whole world is made better because of it. Well, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to this Advent and Christmas season with you, and I hope that you will too. Lots of wonderful things coming your way from Heather, our Faith Formation Director, from Robin, our music deacon, from Pastor June, from Deacon Nancy, from myself, all the people here at Abiding Christ. We're going to be bringing you special things to see and to do and to hear and to speak as we all get ready for Christmas. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.